Forging unshakable resilience. In the bustling agora of ancient Athens, around 300 BC, a former wrestler named Cleanthes found himself facing a stark reality. Having arrived in the city with little more than the clothes on his back, he took on arduous manual labor, hauling water and working in gardens, all while diligently attending philosophical lectures. One day, his meager savings, the fruit of his hard work, were stolen. Imagine yourself in Cleanthes' sandals. You've toiled tirelessly, every drop of sweat a testament to your effort, and in a fleeting moment, it's all gone, snatched away by forces beyond your grasp. What would your immediate reaction be? Frustration? Despair? A sense of profound injustice? For many, these feelings would be natural. Yet for Cleanthes, this setback became a pivotal moment on his path to becoming a prominent figure in Stoicism, succeeding Zeno himself. A subtle shift in perspective can echo through your entire existence, transforming not just your present, but shaping the trajectory of your future. The essence of Stoicism lies in a profound understanding of what we can and cannot influence, coupled with an unwavering acceptance of the latter and a focused dedication to the former. Inspired by the wisdom of Socrates and other intellectual giants, Cleanthes embraced and further developed the tenets of Stoicism. He recognized that while external events are often beyond our control, the whims of fate, the actions of others, the unpredictable nature of the world, our internal landscape, our judgments and responses lie firmly within our dominion. This internal realm is where our true power resides, a citadel that we can fortify against the storms of life. Contrary to the modern misinterpretation of Stoics as emotionless beings, devoid of feeling, the original philosophy was far richer. It wasn't about suppressing emotions, but rather understanding them, discerning their origins, and consciously choosing how we allow them to affect us. Stoicism offered a framework for navigating the complexities of existence, a practical guide for living a virtuous and meaningful life, a philosophy that has resonated across millennia. Its principles remain as relevant and potent today as they were in the ancient world. Stoicism provides us with the tools to process negative experiences, not by denying their impact, but by transforming our understanding of them. It empowers us to cultivate a unique perspective, one that acknowledges reality without succumbing to its potential to overwhelm us. Perspective is indeed everything. Each individual journeys through life with a unique set of experiences, shaping their lens through which they perceive the world. The early Stoics, committed to the accessibility of their wisdom, shared their insights openly in public spaces. They believed that the principles of Stoicism held immense value for all, regardless of social standing. Why confine such vital knowledge within the walls of an academy or the confines of privilege? As a result, individuals from all walks of life, from the enslaved to the emperor, could learn and embody the Stoic way. And many did. Among the most celebrated Stoics were Epictetus, whose very name signified his past as a slave, yet whose wisdom became a guiding light for many. Seneca, a powerful statesman whose writings on ethics and resilience remain timeless. And Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, a figure of immense power who found solace and strength in the principles of Stoicism, documenting his reflections in his personal journal, Meditations. These early Stoics lived in accordance with their teachings, championing equality and rejecting societal divisions. They even coined the term Cosmopolitan, embodying the ideal of being a citizen of the world, emphasizing our shared humanity beyond the boundaries of nationality or social class. This vision of unity and interconnectedness was central to their philosophy. In an era where women were often excluded from intellectual pursuits, the Stoics held a different view. Musonius Rufus, the teacher of Epictetus, eloquently argued, "It is not men alone who possess eagerness and a natural inclination toward virtue, but women also. Women are pleased no less than men by noble and just deeds, and reject the opposite of such actions. Since that is so, why is it appropriate for men to seek out and examine how they might live well, that is, to practice philosophy, but not women?" Even against the prevailing norms, Stoicism offered women a path to knowledge and self-mastery. So, what is the enduring appeal of Stoicism? Why do so many find it a compelling framework for navigating life? In a world characterized by its unpredictability, our emotions can often become obstacles, clouding our judgment and hindering our ability to respond effectively to challenges. The truth is, our sadness often stems not merely from adversity, but from unexpected adversity. Rain in itself is beneficial, nurturing life and refreshing the earth. Yet when caught unprepared in a downpour, our experience is far from pleasant. Why don't we weep every time it rains? Because we have learned to anticipate it. It is an unavoidable aspect of the natural world beyond our control. While inconvenient, we understand its temporary nature. The clouds eventually dissipate and the sun reappears. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate a similar acceptance towards all potential misfortunes, to mentally prepare for the inevitable hardships, to envision the worst-case scenario and find a sense of inner peace, knowing that even that can be endured. One powerful Stoic practice is voluntary discomfort. This involves intentionally exposing ourselves to minor inconveniences and discomforts, sleeping on the floor, taking cold showers, fasting, to cultivate gratitude for the comforts we usually take for granted. These exercises remind us of our inherent resilience, demonstrating that even in challenging circumstances, we can survive and even thrive with the right mindset. By willingly facing minor hardships, we strengthen our mental fortitude for the larger, unforeseen difficulties that life may present. In today's world, saturated with messages of consumerism and external validation, we are constantly bombarded with the notion that happiness lies in acquiring more, looking a certain way, or achieving a specific level of financial success. This makes the core message of Stoicism, finding contentment within, more critical than ever. We enter this world with a blank slate, gradually absorbing knowledge and values from our upbringing, our education, and our observations of the world around us. However, these sources often present conflicting perspectives. The crucial question is, do we blindly internalize all this information? If we do, we risk setting ourselves up for disappointment by embracing unrealistic expectations and chasing fleeting external validation. This is not a path to genuine fulfillment. Instead, our focus should be on personal growth, driven by intrinsic motivation. We should act for the sake of the action itself, for the inherent value it holds, without attaching our happiness to external outcomes or the approval of others. Such attachments invariably lead to disappointment. Often we attempt to fill an inner void by seeking external validation through material possessions, social status, or even relationships sought for their external appearance, rather than genuine connection. Stoicism cautions against this, teaching that placing our happiness in the hands of external forces is a precarious endeavor. These forces are inherently unstable. Possessions can be lost, reputations can be tarnished, and relationships can change. Cars break down, natural disasters occur, and the complexities of human connection can lead to separation. Even seemingly free things come with a cost, the cost of space, both physical and mental. As Seneca wisely noted, learning to live with less will create space in your life for the things that truly matter to you. Our true source of happiness must lie within our inherent worth as individuals, independent of external acquisitions or achievements. We must consciously strive to maintain equanimity, a calm and balanced state of mind, regardless of the curveballs life throws our way. Because ultimately, despite our desires and aspirations, the vast majority of external events remain outside our direct control. However, our response to these events is entirely within our power. This fundamental distinction, the dichotomy of control, is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. In the words of Epictetus, the chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Stoicism teaches us to discern between what we can influence and what we cannot. Our sense of value should not be derived from external factors beyond our reach, but from the internal qualities and actions that are within our power. Setting goals is commendable, but becoming despondent when those goals are not immediately realized is, from a Stoic perspective, unproductive. Creating content, while perhaps less demanding than ruling an empire, still presents its own set of challenges. The process involves ideation, research, refinement, scripting, production, editing, and the often daunting task of navigating the digital landscape. Up until the moment of publication, the process is largely within our control. However, once the content is released, its reception becomes subject to external forces, such as algorithms and audience preferences. Many creators gauge their success by metrics like views and engagement, factors that are largely beyond their direct manipulation. Stoicism suggests a different measure of success: the effort invested, the integrity of the work, rather than the unpredictable outcomes of external validation. Trust the process. Embracing a life with less attachment to external validation liberates us from the self-imposed constraints of societal expectations. Consider someone who has diligently worked for months, believing they deserve a promotion. They present their performance record to their superior, only to be met with a polite decline. They might then conclude that their efforts were inadequate, overlooking the myriad of external factors that could have influenced the decision. The boss's mood, the presence of other qualified candidates, or the company's financial situation. They focus solely on their perceived failure, neglecting the possibility of external influences. If this individual had instead grounded their sense of worth in the quality of their work, in the dedication they demonstrated, and continued to strive for their goals with perseverance, their overall well-being would likely be far greater. With a Stoic perspective, the setback would not be viewed as a personal indictment, but as a temporary delay. This reframing of mindset is paramount. A true Stoic does not define success solely by external rewards, but finds contentment in knowing they can live a meaningful life, regardless of material wealth or external accolades. The Stoic framework rests upon four cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Wisdom is the ability to discern between what is internal and external, and the capacity to consciously choose our response to external events. As Viktor Frankl eloquently stated, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Courage, in the Stoic sense, encompasses two key aspects: persistence in the face of adversity and resistance to negative impulses and external pressures. Temperance, or moderation, involves finding balance and contentment with what is essential, recognizing the difference between need and desire. While the pursuit of excessive wealth may drive some, Stoicism suggests that true sufficiency lies in having what is necessary and being satisfied with enough. Justice, the most encompassing of the virtues, dictates that we should strive to act with fairness, integrity, and compassion towards all, recognizing our interconnectedness and inherent obligation to one another. Nelson Mandela, an iconic figure in the fight against apartheid, endured 27 years of imprisonment for his beliefs. Upon his release and subsequent election as president of South Africa, many anticipated retribution against those who had perpetuated the oppressive regime. Yet Mandela chose a different path. Throughout his years of confinement, Mandela immersed himself in the writings of Marcus Aurelius, absorbing the core tenets of Stoicism, which he then applied to his life and leadership. Instead of seeking vengeance, he urged his people towards reconciliation and rebuilding. He emphasized that the past was beyond their control and that their focus should be on forging a better future. This embodies the essence of the Stoic approach. In modern psychology, Stoic principles underpin therapeutic approaches like rational emotive behavioral therapy, REBT, and logotherapy. REBT helps individuals identify and challenge negative thought patterns that contribute to emotional distress and behavioral issues, replacing irrational beliefs with more logical and constructive ones. Logotherapy, founded on the Stoic understanding of human motivation, posits that our primary drive is the search for meaning. Even in the most challenging circumstances, we can find purpose and fulfillment by identifying what truly matters to us. While this may be easier said than done, it is a process of rewiring our thinking, shedding old patterns, and embracing new perspectives. To cultivate lasting happiness, we must cultivate self-worth rooted in what we can control. By shifting our focus from external validation to our internal values and actions, we can liberate ourselves from the tyranny of uncontrollable circumstances and lead lives of greater contentment and purpose. Stoicism serves as a compass, guiding us through the inevitable storms of life towards calmer and more peaceful waters. If you want to help me, please subscribe and like the video. Thanks for watching. Mind Unbound.